Hey guys, and welcome back. I want to say thank you. Thank you because you come here every single day to listen to me. It's my biggest respect to you. You're not lazy ones, right? But I am. So, there is an issue. The issue is each session I mark the words in the book I'm reading, right? Like this. So, what should I do? I should go and translate the words after all. But I don't do this. So I'm gonna figure out if I am lazy or the brain work this way. Because if you see the word the first time, what the what the brain really think, that's the first time that we see the word the first time. And it might be useless, right? But if we see the word the 10th time, the 20th time, 20th time, the third time, the sixth time, the 12th time, the 100th time. It might be the useful word. So, I'm gonna figure out and fix this. But let's continue. Let's continue our reading journey. I found myself between 20 good certificates. One of them says to me, well, old sword horn, marking the word. You're in luck tonight. You'll see something of life. Old Jack's going to make the tenderloin tenderloin look like a Hamburg steak. Explain, says I. I'm used to joints, but I don't care for filet mignon with the king kind of sauce you serve. Excuse me, said the 20. Old Jack is a proprietor of this gambling house. He's going on whiz tonight because he offered 50,000 to a church and it refused to accept it because they said his money was tainted. What's the church? I asked. Oh, I forgot, says the 20, that I was talking to a tenor. That I was talking to a tenor. Of course, you don't know. You're too much to put into the contribution basket and not enough to buy anything at the bazaar. A church is a large building in which pen wipers and tidies are sold at 20 each. I don't care much about chinning with gold certificates. I don't care much about chinning with gold certificates. There is a stake there is a stake of yellow in them. All is not good. All is not gold, that's quitters. All is not gold, that's quitters. Old Jack certainly was a gilt age sport. When it came his time when it came his time to loosen up, he never referred the waiter to an actuary. Actuary. By and by, it got around that he was smithing the rock in the wilderness, and all along Broadway, things with cold noses and hot gullets fell on our train. The third Jungle Book was there waiting for somebody to put covers on it. All Jack's money may have had a taint to it, but all the same he had orders for his camembert peeling up on him every minute. First his friends railed round him, and then the fellows that his friends knew by sight, and then a few of his enemies buried the hatchet. And finally he was buying souvenirs for so many Napolitan fisher maidens and butterfly octets that the head waiters were phoning all over town for Julian Mitchell to please come around and get them into some kind of order. At last we floated into uptown cafe that I knew by heart when the carriers hot carriers union hot carriers union in jackets and aprons saw us coming. The chief goal kicker called out 6-11-42-19-12 to his men, and they put on nose guards till it was clear whether we meant Port Arthur or Portsmouth. But old Jack wasn't working for the furniture and glass factories that night. He sat down quiet and sang Ramble in a half-hearted way. His feelings had been hurt, so the 20 told me, because his offer to the church had been refused. His feelings have been hurt, so the 20 told me, because his offer to church had been refused. But the wassail went on, and Brady himself couldn't have hammered the thirst mop into a better imitation of the real penchant for the stuff that you screw out of a bottle with a napkin. Old Jack paid the 20 above me for a round, leaving me on the outside of his roll. He laid the roll on the table and sent for the proprietor. Mike, says he, here's money that the good people have refused. Will it buy of your wares in the name of the devil? They say it tainted. It will, says Mike, and in I'll put it in the drawer next to the bills that was paid to the parson's daughter, for kisses at the church, fair to build a new parsonage for the parson's daughter to live in. At 1 o'clock, when the hot carriers were making ready to close up the front and kept the inside open, a woman slips in the door of the restaurant and comes up to old Jack's table. You've seen the kind black shawl, creepy hair, ragged skirt, white face, eyes a cross between Gabriel's and sick kittens, the kind of woman that's always on the lookout for an automobile or the American Sea Squad. always on the lookout for, oh, sorry, squad, and okay, always on the lookout for an automobile or the American squad, and she stands there without a word, looks at the money. Old Jack's Old Jack gets up, the roll, peels me off the roll, and hands me to her with bow. Madame, says he, just like actors I've heard here in here. Madame, says he, just like actors I've heard. Here is a tainted bill. I'm a gambler. This bill came to me tonight from a gentleman's son. Where he got it, I don't know. If you will do me the favor to accept it, it is yours. The woman took me with a trembling hand. Sir, said she, I counted thousands of this issue of bills into packages when they were virgin from the presses. I was a clerk in the Treasury Department. There was an official to whom I owed my position. You say they are tainted now. If you only knew, but I won't say any more. Thank you with all my heart, sir. Thank you, thank you. Where do you suppose that woman carried me among almost at a run? Where do you suppose that woman carried me almost at a run? To bakery. Away from old Jack and sizzling good time to a bakery. And I get changed. And she does a Sheridan 20 miles away with a dozen rolls and a section of jelly cake as big as a turbine water well. Of course, I lost sight of her then, for I was snowed up in the bakery, wondering whether I'd get changed at the drugstore the next day in an alum deal or paid over the cement works. A week afterward, I butted up against one of the $1 bills the baker had given the woman for change. Hello, E3503966 says I. Weren't you in the change for me in the bakery last Saturday night? Yep, says the solitaire in his free and easy style. How did the deal turn over? I asked. She blew 1705141 for milk and rounded steak, says the one spot. She kept me till the rent man came. It was a boom room with a sick kid in it, but you ought to have seen him go for the bread and tincture of formaldehyde. But you ought to have seen him go for the bread and tincture of formaldehyde. Half strafed, I guess. Then she prayed some. Don't get stuck up, tender. We once put here 10 prayers where you hear one. She said something about who giveth to the poor. Oh, let's cut out the slum talk. I'm certainly tired of company that keeps me. I wish I was big enough to move in society with your tainted bells. Shut up, says I. There is no such thing. I know the rest of it. There is a landeth to the Lord. Some somewhere in it. Now look on my back and read what you see there. Interesting. This note is a legal tender and its face value for all that's public and private. This talk about tainted money makes me tired, says I. So the story is over and see you tomorrow guys on the next one. Thank you. Bye.